На Чернобыльской атомной электростанции произошла авария. Поврежден один из атомных реакторов. Принимаются меры по ликвидации последствий аварии. Пострадавшим оказывается помощь. Создана правительственная комиссия.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened.
Children were given iodine. The Russians went ahead with May Day celebrations.
Il disastro nella centrale nucleare di Chernobyl.
Ist der Nuklearbrand noch immer nicht unter Kontrolle.
On the 27th of April 1986, the 50,000 citizens of Pripyat, just 3 minutes away from the Chernobyl power plant, were going about their day normally. What they thought is that the night before a small fire happened at the power plant. What they didn't know is they were living the very last normal moments of their lives.
Внимание, внимание! Уважаемые товарищи! Городской совет народных депутатов...
At around noon on that day, this now iconic voice announced the evacuation of the city, starting at 2 p.m. Citizens were told to leave personal belongings behind and only bring essential items to last 2 or 3 days. They will never see their homes again. These are the very first images of abandoned Pripyat, filmed by military crew just moments after the evacuation ended. After decades of abandonment, nature has completely taken over the city, which now sits unrecognizable, a shell of its former glory. Join me as I bring you inside the biggest ghost town on Earth, Pripyat. After our visit to the power plant, we spent the night in this former holiday resort. It was built in pre-Soviet times and then used as an operational base during the emergency, because it sits right in the middle of the Chernobyl forest, but just outside the most contaminated areas. It's unmapped, uncharted, and at night, pitch black. In fact, the groundskeeper only turned on the power in the cabins we were using. In the forest, we also found this hidden gem, a research lab frozen in time with still tons of vintage equipment and documents inside that not many people had a chance to see. One of our friends was supposed to graduate medical school before the trip, but because of the situation in 2020, the date was moved and he had to do it remotely while we were here. In the meantime, we went exploring the abandoned part of this village to find cabins that have been standing here untouched since 1986. The man you're seeing right now and the blonde girl you will see later are Alex and Misha. They're a married couple and have been working in the zone for many years now, so they have a thorough knowledge of everything related to Chernobyl, Pripyat and the exclusion zone. They also cooperate with the power plant staff, and they worked with the HBO TV producers when making the famous series. Alex and Misha are very passionate about the zone, and every year they arrange a memorial service for the victims of the accident and their families. If you ever want to go to Chernobyl and have an authentic experience, I really recommend contacting them at CHERNOBYL'S.com. I'll leave the link in the description below. After seeing what was once a vibrant holiday destination for the citizens, we hopped back on our bus and go pay a visit to our friend Vladimir Lenin. This Lenin head is actually at the DUGA radar station entrance where we are right now, but for years it stood inside the Chernobyl power plant, which was named after him. I know this scene was set up, but I had to take a quick picture. In the past, this used to be a heavily militarized area, and you can still see nowadays remainings of military vehicles and other installations. To give you an idea of how thick and big this forest actually is, just know that no one even knew this radar existed, and it was discovered only after the Chernobyl explosion while cleaning up the area.
This inner area with antenna was considered already supermax security zone, so here only part of people who were directly involved in works were allowed to go. Even more, even in buildings, they could go only to specific rooms that were like related to their work. This, by the way, remains of decontamination, these drums. It's a disused decontamination powder inside.
Even after seeing countless pictures and videos of this place, it's really hard to understand exactly how huge it is until you're here in person. The whole installation is almost 700 meters long and 150 meters tall. By communicating with two similar radars, they were supposed to intercept Western missiles while they were still flying. With the rise of satellites though, this technology became obsolete very soon.
When there is a storm, it charges up so much with static energy that it gives a sound of working transformer.
Ah, wow.
That created a few more additional conspiracy theories that is actually working.
It's still working.
If you do not study in a school physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics, all your life will be full with magic and wonders.
We make a quick stop at the iconic Pripyat Sign, go through a, well, unique checkpoint, and we're finally inside Pripyat, where our visit starts from Hospital 126.
This very complex of buildings is the Hospital 126, so exactly here they brought the firefighters on the 26th of April along with power plant staff. Many of you definitely know about the basement of this hospital. That room really exists. And the levels there are quite astronomical.
Have you been there?
No, I'm not suicidal. We actually use the robotic stuff.
Oh, really?
Because going there personally is a bad judgment.
Yeah.
This place was called Café Pripyat, and it was the ferry terminal of the city. In case you were wondering about the dogs, they are stray dogs that live in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. They can form aggressive packs at times, but these were very friendly and just wanted some company and maybe a little bit of food. Touching them is not allowed. Back in the days, people could actually see the river through these windows, watch the ferries leave the dock, and wave goodbye to the passengers. Nowadays, because of the vegetation and water drying up, it's hard to even imagine there was a river at all. Yes, someone has definitely been playing Pokemon Go in Pripyat.
So from one side, well, weather is very strange, from another it's quite unique.
As you can see, most of our exploration of Pripyat was under the pouring rain. Well, at least it made for a cool picture.
The statue of Prometheus is standing today in front of the power plant.
Ah, it was here.
Remember the view from this point, because in a few minutes I will show you a picture taken before the disaster, and the difference is astounding. The building we're approaching right now is called Cinema Prometheus and is one of the oldest buildings in the city. We try to get inside, but it's pitch black and unfortunately there's nothing to see. So instead we focus on these beautiful mosaics decorating the buildings. When Pripyat was abandoned, the artist who made them was heartbroken because he thought no one would ever see his art again. Nowadays, hundreds of people every year can enjoy his work, but unfortunately he passed away before visiting Pripyat was allowed again back in 2012. After making our way through thick vegetation and puddles of contaminated water, we are going now towards the main square and catch our first glimpse of Hotel Polissya. Remember the point of view from Cinema Prometheus I've mentioned before? Well, you can compare it now to this historical picture and see how close together everything actually is and what a pretty sight it used to be for Pripyat citizens. In the HBO TV series, you can actually see Valery Legasov work inside this building, which used to be the Pripyat City Hall and was then converted into the Nuclear Scientist Building.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's originally growing here from pre-disaster times.
We walk past the restaurant of Hotel Polissya and reach the central part of Pripyat's main square. On the right, we can see the former House of Culture, a building you can find in all major Soviet towns. Here people will gather to watch movies, listen to music, and even get married. After the evacuation, the DJs who played music here moved to Slavutich, a city built especially for Pripyat's former residents. They still play music to this day, and they don't need government's approval on their songs anymore. At this point, we're just 100 meters away from the famous Ferris Wheel and amusement park. Contrary to popular belief, The Ferris Wheel actually operated a few test drives before the official inauguration that was supposed to happen on May 1st, just 5 days after the accident.
A very big advice. Keep out of this water because this is a lake of wonders.
Oh wow.
You can only wonder what you will measure into, so better go like this.
Okay, please do not stand there. This is a place where the water is going to the underground. And a warning that we had over 10 microsieverts per hour.
Shielding pretty much. There could be much more than the measure. It would come through.
But careful here.
Yeah.
This is okay, over there is okay, here is okay. Except this.
Okay, so I'll stop
Because
on this line.
if you step like this, it's okay for a very short time.
We leave the amusement park behind us and start the final leg of our tour. This is the iconic supermarket of Pripyat. It may look small to us, but back then it was one of the most advanced stores in the whole Union. Their stores were usually very small, carried just a selection of items, and ran out of products very quickly. Pripyat though was a state-of-the-art town, built to attract young engineers to come here and work at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. So everything here was unlike anything else in the Soviet Union. This store reflected that philosophy and was always well stocked, even with some Western items that would normally be prohibited. These included the supermarket's cash registers, which were copied from Sweden. Before leaving Pripyat, we take a look at one last symbol of its decay. This former apartment building, referred to by some as the White House of Pripyat, which contained the most desired apartments in the whole city. It now sits abandoned and badly damaged. If you liked this video and would like to buy me a coffee so I can keep going, I'll leave you a link in the description below. One tap, no registration required. Or you can just press the like button, subscribe and spread the word. Thanks again to Chernobyl Lab who arranged the tour, and special thanks to Tight Pictures, another explorer who makes great videos and helped me a lot with the editing on this one. Please check him out, the link is in the description below. Thank you all for watching and see you on the next adventure.